Hello, folks. I'm Kimberly Crowe, and I'm super excited. I have Dr. Heather Tucker here. Dr. Heather Tucker has been one of our regular community members, and she is a contributor in our Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Toolkit giveaway. Welcome, Dr. Heather.
Thanks so much, Kimberly. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to be here, and that's great. It is 10:30 in the morning Eastern, or I don't even know what time it is. It's 10:30 in the morning where my computer is. It's 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning where you are. Is that right?
Yep, in Hawaii for the moment. Yeah.
She is in Hawaii, beautiful Hawaii, and has decided to book this time to be able to share with you guys a little bit about the gift that she's included in our giveaway, which we're very, very excited about. Dr. Heather, what's Hawaii doing right now? How is it treating you?
Oh, amazing. I come here to recharge, to really be the biz life harmony that I talk about. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And sometimes it's so easy to get carried away with just the everyday things of life. So I come to reconnect with me, recharge, so I can be of better service to my business, to my family. It's a beautiful thing.
I love it. All right. So your business is Another Level Living. So let's talk a little bit about that. What is Another Level Living?
So Another Level Living is a professional training and coaching company. I talk about business and life harmony. I work specifically with entrepreneurs who want to achieve success in business and life harmony because it really is two sides of the same coin. I mentioned before, we never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And sometimes the things that could be happening on one area can impact all other areas. So it's possible to have peace on all sides, stress less, strengthen our relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that we can work smarter, not harder, and create time, money, and emotional freedom. And that's what I'm about.
That sounds great. And I know a lot of our community got into entrepreneurship because they wanted time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. But when they get into it, they're working. It's almost like entrepreneurs will work 70 hours a week for themselves so they don't have to work 40 hours a week for someone else, right?
Exactly. And we want to be able to put that, make it a fraction of that. The reality is it doesn't have to be as complicated. It can be so simple. And sometimes we can get so busy in creating and doing that we forget to be. And what I love about our company is that we talk about how to create a healed heart, a renewed mind. So it's working on one accord, and we literally become unstoppable. A lot of times it has to do with maybe our confidence to get ourselves out there and what we're doing. It's easy to work for someone else, and sometimes it's difficult to work for ourselves. But when you overcome those transition blocks, it literally can be totally fun. And it's about putting the passion back in the purpose again and creating the prosperity.
Well, you know, I'm all about fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing is my motto, and they're great words to live by. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the gift that you've included in the giveaway. What is it that you're sharing with our tribe?
Oh my gosh, I love this gift. I have a free class and guide on how to use your story to attract more clients and touch more hearts, because our hero's journey is the connection. And a lot of times we think that, oh my gosh, we went through all of these things, why us? And the reality is our story and our vulnerability and our ability to share it is actually a beautiful superpower, because when we share our story, we connect with people who may be struggling with some of the things that we've already overcome. And I want to, in this giveaway, I talk about how, our test is our testimony. The things that we've gone through not only have strengthened us, but they are also valuable for the people who come into our lives afterwards. And instead of fearing our stories, because sometimes there's stories that might be too difficult to share. Well, it's possible to heal them, make them light, and share them anyway from a place of power. And that's what I talk about in this, the free class and guide. So make sure you get it. It's amazing.
Well, that sounds amazing. And it's true. I like the test is our testimonial. I've heard the mess is our message, right?
Yes, you remember that from last time. Good
Same
job.
thing. Yeah, it's really, the stuff that we're going through. And we may be like, oh, I'm the only one going through it. I don't want to share it. But as you start opening up and sharing, other people identify with it. The story that I had 17 years in corporate, 15 of them were good. The last 2, not so much. And when I got to the top of the ladder, I realized it wasn't even a ladder I wanted to be on, right? And looked behind the curtain and was like, I don't want to be any of those people when I grow up. And decided to jump off, even though I was making a lot of money and I was in what they call golden handcuffs. The first time I told that story, I was like, nobody's going to identify with that. I made it. I had the American dream, right? Like I got to the top of the corporate ladder and then I decided to quit on them. Really? I cannot tell you how many people are like, oh, that was my story. Like I was working for everybody else and not for me. And I was super unhappy and I was stuck there. And I know what golden handcuffs are and it sucks. And I was like, wow, really? Other people went through that too.
Yes. And even
A shocker, right? And it wasn't a story about like childhood abuse or anything like that. It wasn't even that kind of story, but that story, your story, whatever your story is, it's going to resonate with the right kinds of people out there. Is that true?
Oh, it's totally true. As you were talking, I was like, oh, I totally see myself in that. After graduating, I'm a recovering achiever where I graduated my PhD at 27. I got my dream job working for the Army, and I thought that it was beautiful and amazing. And then I realized there was no harmony here. There was no joy. What do you do when you get to the top? And it's time for something new. So as you shared your story, I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I resonate. And it's so beautiful because it's like when you are able to break every chain, sometimes we can even be a captive of our story. That's one of the things I talk about too, is that sometimes our story can define us, but we're more than our story. Right. It's so interesting how sometimes we can be held captive and prisoner of our story because of the things that have happened in the past, or there's this concern or worry about the future. And the biggest blessing is to be present. And sometimes even when we're doing our business, we can be thinking about business while we're there with the family, or we can be thinking about family while we're there with the business. The secret is to be peaceful and present in whatever you're doing.
Oh, I totally love that. I was talking with somebody yesterday. We were doing a positive shift summit. It was all spirituality and transformation and personal development. And I loved it. It was great. But we were talking about how you can sort of get caught up in the story and stick there, because as you're telling your story over and over again, you're reliving it and you're bringing it back to the present. So if you tell a story about, your childhood trauma or whatever, and people might identify with that, but you're also bringing it back up into your own life and reliving that and then attracting more of that into your life, which is really sort of that interesting, like, how do you tell your story without getting stuck in it? So I really love that you identified that and that is a possibility, but living outside your story, like I'm way past that now. I've healed that and I've moved on. And now I'm living this other story and it's a better story, but it has its own ups and downs. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. You hit the nail on the head. I love what you had mentioned about what you shared in the summit, because that's exactly it. It's about being able to share your story from a place of empowerment, recognizing that if we don't heal what hurt us, we will relive it. It'll bleed on other people, and you prevent new stories, new opportunities. Like it's almost, and that's where we want to be able to live. And it makes sense. It makes sense I talk about mindset and how to reclaim the power of our mind. And it makes sense from a mental and emotional perspective. But the reality is that's one of the things that's sometimes really difficult for speakers because they get stuck in that story. Well, when you break free and you detach from the story and you recognize, oh, this is something that has nothing to do with what is. And there's so many more possibilities of what the future can come. Living in that place is freedom. It's literally breaking every chain.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that I love the image of once you get the first story healed, you make room for more stories. And those stories honestly, they will have ups and downs. Like you got a whole new thing, right? I remember chatting with a mentor one time, and they're like, they were talking to the group about how you're going through your problems and struggles, and then you're getting to your thrive, right? And that's your story that you tell people. But many of you may be like in the struggle right now, and you haven't gotten to your thrive yet. And they said, like, how many of you are right now in your struggle? And a lot of people raise their hands and they're like, yeah, I'm not to the thrive yet, right? Like I haven't come out, like I'm still living the crap right now. But then he said, how many of you are in your thrive? And a lot of people raise their hands, like, I'm actually living in my thrive, right? And he said, well, that's good. But guess what? You're actually in for another fall, because you're right at the beginning of your next struggle, because that's what we do, right? We achieve, we get through the first struggle, right? And maybe it's like we learned how to ride a bicycle, right? But we had fallen down a bunch, but now we knew how to ride a bicycle. So that's great and all. Now you know how to ride a bicycle, but now you got to go to fourth grade. Fourth grade is a brand new struggle, right? Like, and then after you do fourth grade, you're like, okay, that was great. And then you have another struggle, right? So you got to get through, like, every thrive is actually the beginning of a new potential struggle. Same thing with story, right? You got one story, and now you make room for possibility of the next story, which also has its ups and downs. And you're also going to learn a lot, but you're also going to achieve a lot. So I love this. I agree with you so much, Dr. Heather. It's like so powerful to be able to unlock that for people.
Well, one of the things I love that you shared, Kimberly, is it reminded me of the laws of cycles and rhythms. Like one end is a new beginning, and learning how to ride that wave, and learning how to, because sometimes we think, oh my gosh, we accomplished something and that's it. It's like, no, new battle, new journey, right? Okay, let's face it, we're equipped for the next one.
That's tools in our toolbox, and we're going to go for the next challenge. I like it.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah.
And enjoy the journey as compared to like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Be in the flow. It's the flow.
It is the flow. Oh, I totally agree. You and I are on the same page. Okay, well, let's get to the next piece, which is if people want to work with you directly and learn more about how they can live their own amazing life on another level living, how can they work with you?
So I would recommend going to anotherlevelliving.com, where we have a couple of other free gifts. We have our connected on social media, but then also you can be able to book a Biz Life Harmony clarity call with me, and we can be able to talk and chat and go from there. We have many offerings, so we'll just see what's the best fit for you. And, if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Like, there's no time to play small. Why try to fit in when you're born to stand out? And it's time to be able to be all that you can be by unleashing your greatness.
You're giving me chills. I love this. Why try to fit in when you were born to stand out?
That's
all
right.
of you are born to stand out. All of you are supposed to be who you are. And why are you covering that up with somebody else's suit, right? Like a lot of people are saying, okay, well, I want to do this just like Tony Robbins, or I want to be this just like Oprah, or I want to do this just like my mentor, or whatever. But you're you, right? You need to be you and stand firm in the fact that you are worthy and worthy of love and ready to take on whatever you need to take on. But you're the only you that can do it in this world. That's why you're here, to be you, right?
Right. Well, Kimberly, that's what I talk about, is like owning your uniqueness. A lot of times we get caught up in comparing ourselves to other businesses, other places. Like, no, there's a lane, there's a path. I tell my coaches, there's no competition. The only competition is the one that you create. Right. So when you own your own uniqueness, and you and I get so distracted by everybody else's voice. Listen to your voice, listen to your higher power's voice, and go there. And that will just open everything up. It takes the pressure off too.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so you guys have to check out anotherlevelliving.com. Also check out the gift giveaway, because Heather's gift is in there along with a lot of other amazing gifts. I think we have close to 30 gifts in there, all things that can up-level your business, your entrepreneurship, and give you some inspiration and ideas for where to take this and where to go next. You can learn from the places other people have been, but then you can take your own uniqueness and bring your power out of that, but maybe not fall into so many pitfalls. Some other people have bought it too. So check it out. The link is in the chat, and we would love to have you guys join us for the giveaway. I'm Kimberly Crowe. We'll see you next time on a Speaker's Playhouse with another amazing contributor to our gift. Heather, before we let you go, any final words for our crew?
Just want to say, if you're listening to this, it's almost like divine intervention. Make sure that you take advantage of the tool, the giveaway. Make sure you reach out to me because, we're called to be connected and create prosperity power by partnership and working together. We don't want to go the battle alone. We want to have support. There's a lot of times that people will hear your story and relate to it, just like Kimberly and I talked about. And so you only got to be one step ahead of the people that you support. Like, we don't have to have it all together. And let us be able to show you how to do that. And that's pretty much it. I look forward to hearing back from each of you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. Heather. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thank you.